So Ori's back at it again. Hey guys, welcome to Nations and Nobles, and yeah, looks like we have a bit of a problem with one of our neighbors. I mean, I can only assume that this is Ori, considering that she did this exact formation on the first level back in the first episode. And yeah, she didn't just do it for one level, she did it for all of the, or okay, she decided to break the pattern here. That doesn't throw my my OCD off at all. Um, but yeah, like this cuts my production like to a quarter, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, no, we're not letting this slide. Well, if she thinks she can just tell me off by stepping up her cactus game, then I think the only option we have is to step up our jungle wood game. So, probably best that we get straight on that. I don't know what I'm singing, but I'm gonna be here a while. Don't judge me, please. Okay, now we need to strip it down. Do you guys know how much durability this thing takes? Like, stripping wood takes the same amount of durability as chopping it, so you run through it so fast. Which is why I've been using mostly just stone tools for this, because why waste the iron on something that's only gonna last, like, what, a couple minutes? But yeah, for those who don't know, I actually ended up making a little slime chunk quarry down here, which, I mean, not a great idea considering I don't have the best of tools, but, I mean, starting early is never a bad thing, so it's actually made for quite the convenient place for me to strip all my logs hidden from view. We're almost done. Just one more stack to chop up. And just like that, we have actually a little more stripped logs than what we need, because we're actually going to be filling one spot in a chest with a little note that we'll leave behind for Ori. Now, while I was chopping down all that wood and doing all that, I actually came up with a design for the present. Now, I knew I wanted to do a concrete powder gravity falling break thing. I don't know what you'd call it, but you know, the strategy you use to mine out gravel while you're strip mining. Yeah, but same principle here, because it's concrete, kind of falls to the same rules. But the mechanism in which to make this thing explode at the right time was it took a little more problem solving than I thought it would, because I had to do it all compact, right? Now, originally, if I can find it here, I did just a TNT design, thinking, yeah, that would work. And I mean, it did, but the only problem with that is that it would just take too long. See, it doesn't quite have the same effect. And I also had another design over here. This should be a good example. And the problem with that is that it actually went too soon. And you can actually see right here, like, some of the concrete just kind of goes flying everywhere, and it's usually a lot worse than this. Like, I was testing it out in that area, and it would land like all the way over here. It was ridiculous. I want to prank somebody, not cause a mess. So I had to scrap that design. So what I ended up doing was the minecart system, but I had to make some interesting adjustments in this tiny space. Now, first off, we have the redstone torch that deactivates because the concrete behind it falls, which feeds into two repeaters. This basically delays the signal. It puts into this redstone torch, which activates this rail, and I had to do something specific for this in order to not have minecart, like a random TNT minecart, just shooting off somewhere and hitting somebody's base. I had to do a minecart with TNT and then a normal minecart. Now, usually you would just have two minecarts with TNT, but in this instance, it was better just to go with one and one. But yeah, basically what that does is that this torch powers that powered rail, which sends it over to here, which causes these two things to collide and be like, oh yeah, I'm colliding with something, I should explode. And yeah, these chests explode, all of this dirt explodes, everything cleans itself up quite nicely. But more importantly, Ori gets her little present without any damage. That's the main bit. Now, the tricky part about this is that, well, we have to do this without Ori noticing, like all of this, all of the torches, all the concrete, all the redstone, the wood, all of that has to be done without Ori noticing. So she either has to be offline or she has to be somewhere else. And yeah, Ori's on quite a bit and she hangs out in the spawn area quite a bit as well. So it's going to be difficult to find a good time to do all of this, but I think we'll be able to do it. Okay, so we have our building materials right over here. Have to admit, I'm still nervous. Funny story, I actually forgot to make the rails, so let's do that real quick. Alright, we have everything. Let's start the deed. Man, I really hope Ori doesn't log on when I'm doing this. I mean, it would be awkward if someone else logged on, but I mean, if Ori logs on, what do I even do? Do I just keep going? Okay, this is her base. Now, where the heck am I going to put this thing that isn't disruptive? It doesn't necessarily have to be flat, so I honestly think this could work. We just need to move the flowers out of the way, and I think we should be good. So we've placed all the torches, we got the stack of concrete up. Now for the part that starts to make me nervous. Alright, it's all here. I guess we just gotta start placing the concrete. Okay, now that we're one level up, we should probably start putting the redstone in because we're working with concrete. If we go bottom up, it will probably be a lot easier. Place that concrete there, then the torch. 2 repeaters on full delay. Redstone. Another torch. And then the rails. Okay, let's test this. If this goes, that goes, the powered rail goes. Alright. Everything should be good to go. We just need to put the minecarts in, but I am going to wait to do that last. Now to put the final signs. Place the last bit of the box. So I'm going to leave these 2 pieces open for now, not only to fill in the chest, but also to get the minecarts in. So I believe I need 2 torches here, which also helps with mobs. Put one there. Where's a sign? There. And there. Put the ribbon on. I'm still nervous, by the way. I guess all that's left is to put the carts and the wood in. I just hope this works properly, otherwise I'm going to be in big trouble. Best case scenario, it doesn't activate properly and the timing's a little off, or maybe the minecart doesn't go at all. But worst case scenario, we accidentally blow up Ori's base. I mean, I've tested it dozens of times. The design is, you know, fairly foolproof. It just more or less depends on whether or not I built it right. Now to leave a little message for her inside the chest, and grab our secret stash of stripped jungle logs. Never thought I'd say that. Now before we put any explosives in, I'm going to take all this dirt and whatnot out, just so I know for certain that none of these signs are anchored to the dirt. Yeah, I think we're good. Here's the message. Here's the logs. Here's the minecarts. Whew, this doesn't make me nervous at all. Okay, 1 pink powder and 1 white powder. Is that everything? I mean, we have to still put the signs, but I think this is done, which I'm kind of surprised by. I was expecting something to go wrong, like at least have some person join, but I guess I'm alone this morning. The torches align, right? Ooh. Oh, the torches do not align. Oh, that's why. Okay, I just need to shift it over. I'm glad I caught that. Good grief. Now here's the thing. If she knows it's me that placed this here, she's gonna know what's coming. I mean, come on. I've done the whole jungle wood thing a couple times now. I don't think she's gonna be very fooled. So, what I'm going to do is basically write everything in all caps, because I never write in all caps. Yevo does sometimes, and I think she would just be too distracted by the all caps to really be able to recognize who wrote it. I'm also going to write Aureus because nobody refers to her as Aureus, so that could also be something to trip her up. Now, I'm usually pretty tight about my spelling, so I'm going to mistype this on purpose. Oh my gosh, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I hope so, because I'm embarrassing myself here. So I have to think about what I would type and then do something differently. So I would usually type, I have brought you a gift or something. But what if we did, I got you a present? Does that seem convincing enough? I don't think she would immediately think it's me, right? I'm still so nervous for this to go all wrong. Whew. I hope, man. I hope. Now, I'm actually going to be pranking somebody else today, too. If you guys remember from last episode, after I used some birch wood to decorate my house, well, Owl didn't take too kindly to that, and she decided to strip all of the trees in my front yard. And for those who don't know, Owl's not a huge fan of birch wood. She says that the only good birch wood is stripped birch wood, so I decided that I was going to do something a little special. Now, you may have not seen Owl's house in episode 1. You may have seen it in episode 1.5, but the main point being that Owl has a forest right behind her, and it already has a little bit of birch trees in it. So I thought, why not just make the rest of the trees birch? Now, obviously, I'm not going to cut down the trees that are really close or are obviously placed there for the sake of building, but I might go a few trees out before I actually start doing this. Like, maybe, I think here would be good. I think these are normal trees. I mean, a good amount of them are birch anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, stuff like that, the azalea trees, yeah, I'm not touching those. So I think here's approximately a good spot. So let's get chopping. Still don't have replay mod, by the way. You know what? I'm just imagining how cool this would look in replay mod right about now. Considering there was a lot of birch trees here already, I don't really anticipate Owl noticing all that much, but it's still funny. But yeah, as you guys may have noticed, well, trees can be cut down quite simply on this server, so before you guys freak out going, oh, hey, no, this is terrible, you're making Owl do so much off-camera work, it's really not that hard. And she has better gear than me and everything, so I think she'll have an even easier time doing this than I am. Now, some of you may or may not be wondering how many trees I plan on planting. And to answer that question, I shall ask you another question. How many saplings are in my inventory? Nah, maybe not quite that much, but I am honestly not entirely sure because I've yet to see most of these saplings grow at the moment, so I think after a little while, I'll give it a pause, let these trees grow, and then if it's obvious enough, then I'll probably back off. But until then, I'm probably just going to keep planting. I actually don't know if this is obvious enough. I get that slight feeling that something is off, but because of all the oak trees that Owl put in the forefront, it's actually kind of hard to tell. You know what? That's fine. I mean, there's still more trees to grow anyways. Actually, you know what? Let's grab some bone meal, see if we can get a good preview. Oh, by the way, if it seems like I'm rushing things at the moment, there's a reason for that. I'm gonna have quite a few technical difficulties coming in the next few days, and basically, I'm not gonna have access to the internet, so I want to be able to get as much footage as I can before going into the editing stage of this, and then somehow I'll try to upload this. I don't know. Okay, let's start bone mealing these, and hopefully it's obvious enough. Is this much of a prank anymore? I don't know. I mean, once you're in here, it's very obvious that something's different, but my biggest concern is how it's going to look from the forefront. So I get the feeling that something's off, but it still doesn't feel that obvious to me, probably because of these trees in the forefront. I think we're just going to leave it up to a game of how long it takes for Owl to notice. So something I've actually been working off screen with Obi is a town hall meeting place. We actually don't have the name down for it yet, but this is basically where all town meetings will be held. Is there anything on this? No. But we actually went for some really interesting colors. We went for a muted blue, like a brighter blue for the speaker, like the different stones. There will be more detail added into these walls later. We were just trying to get the shape down. And something we did as a joke was a pink roof, and what we decided to do to outline it was dark oak. Now, that's basically what I'm going to be working on today, is the roof, because this building's been kind of sitting here unfinished for a couple of days now, and well, it's kind of starting to bother me, because if I leave something alone for too long, then it's never going to get finished. So yeah, I should probably just get on that. Now, as you can see over here, we already got one bit of the roof done, which was surprisingly difficult. It was mostly just the fact that we had this really odd angle, and we also had to hide the jungle underneath just so it wasn't poking out. So yeah, that was a little awkward, but today we're going to be working on the main bit here. Now, something that we were planning on doing was doing kind of an A roof kind of style with stairs, but now that I'm looking at this, I think that's going to make it just too tall and too steep. So I think I'm going to replace this out with slabs and then do that for the rest, see how it goes. So I just had a thought. What if I had something coming out of the roof a little bit, and it would be like a circular centerpiece? I don't know if that's a good idea, but we could always try it out. Okay, it took a long time to get the shape right, but I think you guys know what I'm going for now. Overall, it just makes the building a little less boring and box-like, and it just adds some interest. Also, it adds some height to the build because, I mean, functionally, it's one of the most important places in the town. So I think it should be at least relatively tall. Alright, that looks a lot better without the dirt. So I guess the next thing to work on is the intersection between the building and the roof over there. So this is basically how it turned out. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Happier than I thought it would be. So in terms of shape and everything, I think, you know, I'm not entirely confident, but I think we've got all the detailing down, at least when it comes to using the different kinds of blocks. All we really need to do now is to intermix some of the stone brick with the blocks that we have down here. So Ori just logged on. She's inevitably going to see that. I was kind of hoping she wouldn't log on a time I was logged on. But because that might make it slightly obvious as to who put the present, but you know what, whatever. Oh, we might just see it in action here. I am lying out of my teeth and my heart is pounding. Oh. I can hear her through the voice chat a little bit. She's talking about something. I can't really hear her. She's very muffled. Probably because I'm on the other side of this roof. I am muted, so she's not going to be able to hear me, but I might be able to hear her, depending on where she is. Oh, is she about to do it? I think she might just be about to hit it. She found the flower bits that I put in the chest. Okay, all I heard was like towards that chest is right out of my hearing range, apparently. I'd like to get closer, but oh, there we go. And that didn't work. Oh, come on. I don't have any arrows. I can't save this. Well, that's very embarrassing. It worked in the test world, and I could see the redstone torch turn on. Oh, that's really embarrassing. That is insanely embarrassing. There's nothing obvious from this angle.
No.
Like as to why it could have gone wrong. Yeah, that deactivates.
Don't get blowed up.
That deactivates, so that... Hold on, let me look at the test world real quick. I looked at the test world before the restart. It should have went off, but it didn't.
Oh no, it's the same? It just didn't?
Yeah, the exact same.
Oh wow.
Like even the redstone torch went off, but it just...
It just didn't.
You wouldn't happen to have arrows, would you?
Yes, I do. I have no idea how to do any of this. So, I'm clueless.
Yeah, it powered. It powered. It just didn't go.
What? Oh, no.
I feel so scammed. For the sake of your entertainment.
No, don't get blowed up, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh!
I had to do something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand why it didn't go. It should have went. I'm peeved. I'm peeved. But I mean, I'm peeved.
Yeah. That's very annoying, I imagine.
Yeah, I was so nervous making that entire thing, but it just didn't go.
That's so weird, though. I wonder why it didn't.
Yeah. Well,
there's a bunch of trash up here.
But yeah, that was the intended effect.
Oh, no, that's amazing. And then I wouldn't be able to pick my stuff up because of all the... Honestly, I can't let that spawn. Think of all the sticks.
Yeah, I figured if nothing else, you would appreciate this, like, the sticks or something.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't remember when I opened the chest. For some reason, I was like, "Oh no!" But how? There's a sign. I wasn't gonna read the sign, but no, it was a piece of paper because you're a genius.
Well,
It's awesome. All the jungle.
I
me save Junglewood. I mean, it's not that you're making me, but still.
I mean, I had to baby it along, but I guess it worked in the end. Well, all's well that ends well, I suppose, but I guess let's just get this last pillar in. Okay, to finish things off, we are going to put a chandelier right about here, I'm thinking. So it should be 1, 2, 3. Is that good? Yeah, no, that drips down just a bit too low, so I think we'll do 2 blocks instead. Or maybe we should just do 1 chain. I mean, it'll look a little goofy, but I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. So first off, we put a glowstone, and then we surround that by 4 white stained glass panes, and then connect those with purple, then put a white stained glass block beneath that, and then lantern, and then put 4 panes on each side. We don't have the candles to put on top of these yet, but good to have these here. Okay, that doesn't look too wonky, and it does light up this area. It was being a little dark. So, yeah, we just need to get those candles in. We should be good. I might have to talk to Obi about the height of it and everything, but I need his silk touch pickaxe for that anyway. So, yeah, I think we can leave it like that for now. So I just wanted to highlight this for a second. I now have over a stack of diamonds. That took a while. Do you know how long it takes to get this without any fortune? Man, well, that's neat. Now that we got the town hall finished, I have an issue that I need to address. So you guys may have noticed that I haven't really put anything in my house yet. I've been kind of just keeping everything in here, and it's kind of a mess. Like I mean, the space is great for most bits of function. Like we have a wheat farm, we have a bamboo farm, we got a bunch of trees. This is a pretty good functional place, but man, it's kind of a pain to grab stuff from here and then run all the way over to my actual base in town whenever I need something. So yeah, I think it's prime time we get some stuff moved over to the house. Now, luckily enough, we actually have a whole stack of chests to fill our house with, thanks to the bamboo farm over there, so yeah, let's get going. Now let me test something. Can I open this? I can. Nice. Okay, this is where we're going to have a lot of our storage. And there we go. Okay, in terms of the decoration, I know I want something like this here, but other than that, I'm not entirely certain. Well, why don't we hold off on the decoration for now and just get the items in these chests so that when I do think of ways to decorate the place, I actually have access to the items. Alright, I'll be honest with you, I did some work off camera, so, here's the thing, there are times when I'm building where it's just best if I do it off camera, otherwise I'm gonna be way too distracted and not be able to really think things through, and this was one of those times. So, I basically did, like, 80% of the interior already. This room is still a work in progress, but as you can see, we have some treasure maps up here that we have still yet to get to. Honestly, this is partially just me reminding myself that I need to get to these. I probably already did this one, I'm not entirely sure, but this one I still definitely need to go to. And also we have some utilities here, you know, the basic stuff. And then we have two farms here, a bamboo farm where I could just like sit here and get bamboo. Or I could just bone meal it to death and get bone meal that way, but most of the time I'm just going to be AFKing this. And also a concrete maker. So yeah, I figured those would be two pretty useful farms to have side by side in this small space. So yeah, let's move on to the first floor. And as you can see, this is basically going to be our trophy room, and also just stuff we want to get to fairly easily, like food and whatnot. We have like the wheat for the cow farm over there, or the cow crusher. We have like raw food, and we also have like finished food, so yeah. We have two heads that I'm particularly fond of, the Vex head and the Piglin head. I just think the Piglin head looks cool. That's about it. We have like some basic stuff. I have like trophies in here, but I don't know what to do with these yet. Like, you guys don't know this, but on the server, there have been a bunch of buttons that have just been being placed all over the place. And, well, every single time I'm trying to do something, I find myself distracted. I just have to go pick a bunch of them up every single time I see one. And it's kind of agitating in a way, but it in a funny way. We have a bunch of heads here, including the like Ori's lion head, a couple of my own heads, a Vindicator head, a somewhat rare head, a angry pollinated bee that Silver and I got when we were messing around. We also have a Totem of Undying here. Just I kind of purposely just made it look like it was just kind of placed there haphazardly because I'm not the most organized person, and I kind of wanted to reflect that. Here's like some horse stuff. I've still yet to find a horse, and that's kind of a reminder for me to do that. There's also a pottery shard. That's also a reminder for me to pick that up. I don't know how long that's going to take, but whatever. There's also the shelf that is pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, I mean, not too much in terms of the first floor. I still got to figure out what to put in that corner over there. I tried something earlier, but it wasn't working out. So yeah, I got to figure something out. But for the most part, it's pretty all right. Coming up to the attic, this is basically where a lot of our functional stuff is going to be. Just storage, furnaces, enchanting, a to-do list that has nothing in it yet, and of course the beds, and another random treasure that's just kind of sitting here. Now, actually, there is a little secret within this room, but I'm not going to show you guys that quite yet. I imagine it won't take too long before I show you it, but I kind of want to tease you guys just a little bit, But yeah, that is the house so far. It's not my best work, and I might have gone a little overkill with the item frames, but I mean, to be fair, this is my first time working with invisible item frames, because on this server you can do toggle, or no, it was trigger, what was it, if invisible, and that will turn the item frame you're looking at invisible. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to use those to show my disorganization and whatnot. And it just kind of personalizes the space, I think. I still have yet to put anything on this bit over here. I might want to put something in here. I'm not entirely sure. So, to end off the episode, I actually have a question for you guys. So, there is a person who is actually on the server right now. His name is Obi-Wise Kenobi. We just call him Obi for short. He seems to be doing something in Zen's base over there. I have no clue what. But we've actually been getting to know each other, working together a bit. If you may recall, we actually worked on the town hall together. And, well, to show my friendship, I want to do something with him, but what I do depends on you guys. So, Obi, if you're watching this, you might want to stop the video here. But in any case, if you... Oh my gosh, there's a warped button. I'm trying to record a segment. Like, case in point, the warped button is, like, distracting me while recording. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but, like, right on that bamboo over there, there's a warped button. Anyways. So you guys have two choices. Either I prank him. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for a prank for him yet, but I will end up pranking him. Or should the Salmon of Salvation pay him a visit? If you guys saw the first episode, you guys will know what I mean. But in any case, yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you guys for watching, and, well, we'll see what happens to Obi.